Yes, exactly 4 minutes past 9 a.m. This is Smart Means Business. Andrew Barigi driving you through all the way. Now, welcome to the Business Insight as they're developing stories to look into. And recently, yesterday, the Parliament approved 600 million loan that is for Greater Kampala urban roads. And let's take a look at a deeper report regarding that. Now, on January 23rd, 2025, Ughanda's parliament approved the monumental financial decision that has sparked a blend of optimism, skepticism, and heated discussions. And the government has also been authorized to borrow the government has been authorized to borrow 600 million. There has been some sort of a confusion here. Approximately about 2.2 trillion to finance the ambitious Greater Kampala metropolitan area, that is urban development program. Now, this program is articulated by Henry Musasizi, the State Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, and aims to address Kampala's long-standing infrastructure deficits, according to the position, the Greater Kampala metropolitan area, and considering it to be Uganda's driver of Uganda's economic transformation. Now, at first glance, this loan might actually appear as a win for the urban development, but however, a deeper dive into the details and the implications reveals quite a complex picture. Now, the motion on the loan presented by Musasizi outlined the objectives, including capacity building, that is for the Ministry of Kampala City and Metropolitan Affairs, as well as for the Kampala City Authority and the 8 local governments. Now, the funding also claims to facilitate coordinated infrastructure projects, improve service delivery, and align the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Economic Development Strategy 2022, that is between 2022 up to 2030. Now, despite these laudable goals, concerns still about the implementation, data sustainability, and community impact linger on the public discourse. Now, the loan consists of 3 components. There is the 508 million from the International Development Association, that is the IDA of the World Bank Group, $48 million SDR grant from the same body, and additional 40 million pounds, that is about 42.6 million United States dollars, from the Against Franchise the Development, that is AFD. Now, the repayment terms include a 25-year maturity period, that is of 7-year grace period, and now these terms are relatively favorable for pay on paper. But the question is, Uganda's growing external road upgrades, despite receiving over 3 trillion Uganda shillings since 2018. Now, one of the most pressing issues that is tied to this loan is ensuring the value for money. Now, Joel Senyonyi, the leader of opposition in parliament, voiced concerns about the delays and cost overruns. Now, as a member of parliament from Kampala, he said that I should be excited about these projects, but I'm deeply concerned about delays, the rising costs, and the scope of these road works. Now, he remarked. Now, his statement echoes widespread frustration among Ugandans who have actually seen major infrastructure projects stall or fail to meet the expectations. Now, the National Economic Committee, chaired by John Bosco Ekojo, has highlighted several risks. Of course, highlighting that, has highlighted several risks, including the fluctuating interest rates that is among the multinational lenders and delays in loan disbursement. Now, these factors definitely could infiltrate the project's overall cost and strain, that is Uganda's national budget. Now, additionally, the committee noted that the ongoing construction works are causing significant disruptions, and most especially to traffic and local businesses. Talking about the dust, the road closures, which are becoming a huge challenge for the residents, most especially the rush hours. And now today being a Friday, I believe it's going to be a drama in there. Now, of course, as we take a look at the success, beyond the statistics and the policy discussions, we see that the success or failure of the GKMA Urban Development Program will be felt most accurately by the ordinary Ugandans. Now, you take a look at a small business owner in Mukono, her shop, of course, I'm assuming there is a long stretch of the road currently under construction and has seen a 40% decline in sales due to reduced foot traffic and persistent dust. Now, one of the people actually, one of the ordinary people who we call the Muntuawansi, says that they told us that the roads would bring more customers, but now it feels like we're losing everything, she laments. But well, of course, whenever any development is taking place, there ought to be some sorts of disruptions. But I think we should be positive by looking at the future and the possible benefits that are lying ahead after these construction after these projects have been accomplished. I think that is the beauty about this overall. Of course, the disruption must be expected. So for those that are lamenting, I think there could be some little sense of ignorance if you're lamenting about the constructions. Yes, I understand. Personally, I'm affected also. But when I look at the future and I look at the plan, I'm inspired to like, okay, move on, do the constructions. Now, similarly, motorists, for example, there is a gentleman here who says that they face daily gridlocks caused by incomplete roadworks. A journey that used to take 30 minutes now takes over 2 hours, and he explains all the challenges that they're going through. And now these stories definitely underscore the importance of timely project completion and effective community engagement to mitigate the short-term hardships. Yeah, so of course the disruptions. But Uganda has also been really hope these projects will actually be accomplished in the estimated time period, because the challenge is that if they are not established in the time they're supposed to be established, the cost of construction, the costs will be inflated, at the end of the day, and that will mean chances are high that the government will actually think about borrowing more money to finish the projects at the end of the day, and that will increase on the date, which further has an implication to the development of the country's economy, because that means the government might be forced to introduce taxes, which taxes we actually not sure whether they will also be utilized, in that, because it's so surprising that almost now Uganda is actually adopting a trend where agencies have sub-agencies investigating those agencies, now just like the committee that is responsible to search the mismanagement of funds, spying on the Uganda Revenue Authority. Okay, I call it that. It's like spying literally to that. So all that because it looks to be like a small thing, but if you try to look at it from a bigger picture, if the projects are not completed on time, there is a long-term implication, not only just by the hindrance for you to reach your destination. Maybe 5 years from now, something that you have been purchasing at 5,000 might go as far as 20,000. There is that possibility. It can happen. Now, learning from the past mistakes. Uganda's urban development history offers valuable lessons. Now, Projects like the Kampala-Jinja Expressway have faced repeated delays, cost escalations, and public outcry over land acquisition disputes. But to avoid repeating these mistakes, the government must prioritize transparency, stakeholder involvement, and robust monitoring mechanisms. Now, the Deputy Speaker, that is Thomas Tayebwa, has called for heightened oversight, urging the National Economic Committee to monitor progress closely. Now, since 2018, over 3 trillion shillings have actually been allocated to Kampala City Council Authority, yet there is little visible progress. Now, the real issue definitely lies in the implementation. That is according to the Deputy Speaker of Parliament. That's what he observed. Now, this critic highlights the need for basic reformations within implementing agencies to ensure accountability and efficiency. But the challenge is that when we do, I understand that we need the accountability and efficiency, but that doesn't call for creation of another agency, because again, then what's the purpose of merging? You know, initially merged the Uganda Coffee Development Authority, which is normal, the UNRA and all that, and then fresh agencies are created to follow up, you know, on whether the projects are being executed. That is another expenditure, because actually follow-up is quite expensive. There are a lot of investigations. There are investigations that might actually take a year and above. That is all expenditure. Now, if executed, of course, successfully, the GKMA Urban Development Program could actually serve as a model for other regions in Uganda. And now, of course, we talk about improved networks and infrastructure, definitely more likely to enhance connectivity, reduce the transportation costs, and attract investment. Of course, moreover, we see that the programs focus on environmental conservation and support for the informal sector aligns with the global trends properly towards sustainable and inclusive urbanization. However, the stakes are high. Failure to deliver could actually deepen the public skepticism and erode the trust in the government institutions and excavate the urban challenges as Uganda continues to grapple with rapid urbanization, striking a balance that is between ambition, realism, which will actually be a key when it comes to achieving the long-term success. Now, what is that to really to get from here? Now, the $600 million loan from the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Urban Development Program represents both an opportunity and also a challenge at the same time. While funding could unlock transformative potential, it also demands careful stewardship to avoid pitfalls of the past urban projects. Now, of course, by addressing implementation bottlenecks, ensuring accountability, and centering the human experience, Uganda can actually turn this ambitious plan into a cornerstone of its economic and social development. That is, if it is taken into great consideration. Well, that is it for now. Let me go for a short break, and when I return, there is an update in regards to the Kampala-Entebbe Expressway, as we shall be having a deep dive into the revenue growth, loan repayments, and the road ahead for Uganda's infrastructure. Literally, the whole discussion is in line with transformation, with infrastructure development. You know, yesterday we were looking at infrastructure in the air transport space, the railway space. Now we're talking about it on the road. You know, the road space now. You know, so. How far is this really going to be? In most cases, okay, I'm talking about the implementation, because with Uganda we have very good policies, you know, very good plans, but the poorest implementation. We are the poorest implementers of the goals that we claim that we want to achieve, and that is something that needs to be checked. But that doesn't necessarily mean you should create other agencies to follow up, because how many agencies shall be following up other agencies? And what is the chance that the reports are accurate? All that. Well, let's go for the short break. I'll be returning. I shall be also winding this up. Stick around.